What's up, fight fans? Grease back with you. Cage Side Seat, presented by BioAccelerator, advanced stem cell therapy. Here, Cage Side, with the best MMA talk, with the biggest names in the sport, from the best seat in the house. And the best seat in the house tonight is anywhere you can watch UFC 238 in Chicago at the United Center, the house the greatness of Michael Jordan and the 90s Bulls built. And how appropriate is that with the chance that we have tonight to see all-time greatness and all-time history being made in the octagon. And of course, I can only be talking about the man who's an Olympic gold medalist, the man who's already the UFC flyweight champ, took out the greatest champ in the history of the UFC. Also just beat a guy who many had number one on the pound for pound list and took him out in 32 seconds. And of course, I'm talking about TJ Dillashaw and Mighty Mouse Johnson before that. The only Olympic gold medalist to move on and win UFC gold, and now looking to do it in two divisions and become only the fourth person all time to do it. And all he's got to do to accomplish those goals is beat a guy who's won 17 of his last 18 fights, with 10 of them by knockout, 6 by submission, 13 first-round finishes, and Marlon Moraes. Of course, I can only be talking about the messenger, Henry Cejudo, 14-2, fighting out of Fight Ready right here in AZ. 6 wins by knockout, 5 first-round finishes, Wrestling Hall of Famer, and one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters and combat sports athletes of all time. A guy I've known for a lot of years, and Henry joins me now, cage side from Chicago, the site of UFC 238. Henry, the lights just keep getting brighter, the fights just keep getting bigger. This, though, all-time history. This could put you at the top of every list in the sport and combat sports in general, man. I know you're so excited about it. Big opportunity for you. What's up, my man?
Hey, what's going on, Jim? How are you?
Henry, bro, you know me. I'm always doing great. I love my life. I love what I do, man. And I'm really enjoying looking at this ride you're on right now. You know, I've interviewed some of the greatest athletes of my lifetime, man. I've been blessed. You know, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dan Marino, greatest coaches like Pat Riley and Phil Jackson. I've talked a lot about how certain athletes just reach a level, man, with their God-given talent, their work ethic, the determination, mental toughness, that willpower, right time, right place, right people around them, and you just hit that level of greatness, that zone, that LeBron greatness level that you see very rarely in the world of sports. We haven't seen it that much in mixed martial arts. John Jones is an example that comes to mind, but I feel like, Henry, you're there right now, dude. I feel like as an Olympic gold medalist at a young age, then transitioning into MMA, this is your second time achieving this in your life, in the second sport, man, and you're just getting started. Can you talk a little bit about this ride that you're on and the level of greatness that you're reaching right now?
Yeah, and that's exactly what it's a question of mindset. It's a question of mindset, and it's a question of recognizing your abilities and being true to that. So, you know, there's a lot of things that I'm good at. There's a lot of things that I'm not good at. You know, and I think that's something that I've recognized ever since I was a kid. You know, I think that's what separates, you know, the good from great. Just them understanding what they've been made to do. I feel like I've been made to be a fighter. I've been a fighter my whole life, and you know, it's just it feels good to be able to be, you know, in that category of all these legends and all these greats. You know, I'm living the dream. I'm living the dream, Jim.
No doubt about it, man. You're enjoying every second of it, too, and you're doing great things with it. You know, you develop this persona. People see you coming out in the costumes with the antics and the snake and the mouse and the crown on, calling yourself cringy. Marlon says he can't wait to fight you because he'd fight you in the street. The personality, though, and the money and the marketing, maximizing your window and everything that you're doing with it by building this persona, Henry. But people who really know you and have known you for a long time, you're a cool dude, man. You're soft-spoken, you're generous, you're doing so much to inspire people, man. The Monday motivation, the Wednesday wisdom, your social media posts. What inspires you to do all that, and how much of it has to do with your legacy moving on past your career in combat sports?
I have a platform, and I've been given a certain gift, and you know, I've been given that certain gift, and it's something that I have to give back. You know, when you're giving something, you got to make sure you're able to, you know, to share it with people, because it's not, if you're just a champion and it's all about you, then and what's the purpose of life? You know, and I found that. You know, the attitude of service, of being a champion and serving people and sharing your thoughts and your emotions, it makes me feel well, man. Because maybe everybody has a mom or a dad, but doesn't mean they're the right mentor. Doesn't mean they're the right people for you. and it's special just that I'm able to do that, and people are able to follow that, and people look forward to Motivational Mondays or Wisdom Wednesdays. If there's anything that I could share in my life, is my experiences, and that's what I do it for, man. I want to leave this world a better place.
One of the things that you said recently, and you've talked about people knowing their strengths and weaknesses so you can maximize your potential and limit those areas where you might not be great, find where you have your opportunity to achieve the most in this world. But one thing that really stood out to me recently, and it reminded me of talks that I had with Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Pat Riley, people like that, where they've said to me that losing hurts worse than winning feels good. That's a direct quote from Pat Riley. The losses make you miserable, way more miserable than the winning makes you feel good. You said something like that recently where you talked about wanting to win so badly because you hate the pain of losing so much.
That's exactly what it is. You find motivation in obstacles. You find motivation in defeat, because it's, a loss is kind of like a breakup. When you break up with somebody that you love, with somebody that you spend time with, and, you guys are no longer together, it's hard, It's when you take the fight personal like that, because that's how we take it, to a certain extent, I guess. That's how winners view losing.
Grease here with you, cage side, with the Olympic gold medalist turned UFC champ, the only one in history, Henry Cejudo, looking to become the fourth double champ, two-division champ in the UFC tonight against Marlon Moraes at bantamweight, UFC 238 in Chicago. And Henry, another thing true winners do is take people with them. You can't say hi to everyone, you can't do everything, but the people who are tight with you and the people who really know you say the same things. Henry wants to share the spotlight, the successes, your house, you got people living there, the things you have, your coaches, your partners, the people who work with you, they all say the same things. You got Neuroforce One on the Joe Rogan show, you get everybody on the Embedded shows. What's that like for you to be able to share so much with the people closest to you?
Yeah, no, and it's beautiful, man. Like I said, that's what life is, Jim. It's about sharing your thoughts, your success, your experiences, your pain. It's all my coaches are I'm blessed, man. I have amazing people around me, and they do everything possible to make me the best in the world, and I don't take that for granted, man. These people sacrifice their time because they believe in me. As much as they believe in me, I believe in them.
So much mutual trust and love and respect there with your coaching staff, with the people that you're working with, the companies that back you, with your mentors, and the people who are closest to you in your life. Trust, believe, and achieve. And you need that with all the things you're trying to do and the things that you're trying to achieve. Being the pound-for-pound greatest, the greatest combat sports athlete in history. Now moving up to 135 pounds. I know you love putting on that muscle, Henry. I talked to Andre and Kevin at Neuroforce One. They said it's been a lot of fun, this camp, being able to build a bigger and stronger and faster Henry Cejudo as you put on more weight, way stronger and even quicker, more explosive than you were as a flyweight. People forget, too, you started at this weight. You were a champion at this weight here in Arizona before you went on to the UFC. And so anybody who thinks that you're going to be a small guy coming up from flyweight to be a bantamweight, especially Marlon, he thinks he's going to have a size advantage as he comes in at around 150. You're going to be right there with him.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. I can tell you. They can call me a lot of things, but one thing you should recognize is I'm a gamer, man. I will compete with anybody in the world, despite the weight class, despite anything. I am ready to showcase talents to the world.
You've done it so many times already. Henry Cejudo, the messenger here, cage side 14-2, the UFC flyweight champ, looking to become a two-division champ in the UFC. Only the fourth athlete ever to accomplish that goal. Took down the greatest champ in UFC history, and Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. A lot of people thought TJ Dillashaw was at the top of the pound-for-pound list in the UFC. You smoked him, took him out in 32 seconds. And I don't know if people know this or not, Henry, but you're actually the only UFC champion in history to have a gold medal. I don't think enough people know this because I don't think enough people have been told about it.
Yeah, nobody. I think that's something that I could brag about, which I don't think I do enough, Jim.
Hey, Henry, keep bragging, keep making that money, keep winning, keep doing what you're doing, man. Get that second belt. Man, it's right there for you. All this right there for the taking. So that arm gets raised, right? Against Marlon Moraes. Here you are, a two-division champ. Here you are, an Olympic gold medalist, greatest combat sports athlete in history. Where do you go from there, man? Where do you go from there? All your dreams are a reality. there are no more belts to win unless maybe you think about going up to 45 in the future. Where do you go from there? What continues to drive you and feed that beast you have inside of you from that point forward?
Legacy finance, a bit of everything, man. Because the champions are made all the time too. I want to make sure I set myself up for the future. So there's a financial motivation to everything that I do, man. Because fighting is not a career that you want to do for the rest of your life, but you can't do it for the rest of your life. And I got to make sure I align all my ducks so that everything is put in place, so that when I retire, I'm able to pimp it out in the Bahamas like you, Jim.
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. I lived in Miami for a long time. I was in the Bahamas 4 or 5 times a year. Those sunsets look a lot better over the ocean, brother. And the more money you make, the better the views. You know that, man. You know that, Henry Cejudo. Those sunsets get more and more pretty the more cake you can afford to throw on those rooms. And we all know, man, that that's coming for you, and you're going to be wherever you want to be in this world doing whatever you want to do. I want to thank you on behalf of all the people who know you here in AZ for being the guy you are. All the things that you've done with me and for me over the years, I appreciate that. All class, all the way. I get chills when I think about what you're accomplishing right now. And most of all, man, as a father and as someone who lives to inspire people, thank you so much for showing us all what true greatness is, my brother. Keep chasing it. I always appreciate you and appreciate the time. Thank you, Henry Cejudo.
Yeah, thank you, Jim.